You see, the guys on the vineyard had a limited number of girls here on the vineyard to marry, and it got to the point where some of us were related to just about everybody else. So, a new school teacher, think about that, this good-looking gal, she could teach music, and so that's how my wife and I came to be.
How did you meet her?
Well, I'll tell you about that. I was living a little less than exemplary life, I think, lifestyle at the time, and I was working for my father, and I'm sure that he was not happy about my goings and comings and all that, and I lived at home, and my mother was no doubt upset about things as they were. So my wife showed up on the island, and my father was was very bright, and he thought if I got married, I would slow down, change my outlook on things. And so Dorothy would drive her car up. She had a car. She used to teach all around the island, and park her car and go over to the post office to get her mail. And when she came back, if he saw her going over there, he'd have an apple all shined up bright, and he'd run out there and stick it in her car. I didn't know it. She'd come out, and by the time she came out, I'd be up front in the window there, and she'd see me, and she thought I put it there. So he kept that going for a long time. And finally, I was still flying, and she used to hang around the airport some on Sundays, and there was a lot of activity there then. So she was up there parked in her car watching the planes come and go, and it came my turn to fly the club plane, and I didn't have anyone to go with me, so I saw her sitting there. I went over and I said, how would you like to take us a little spin, a hop? She thought that'd be delightful, so we took off. And I thought I'd give her something to remember me by, so we get out over the harbor here, 6,000, 7,000 feet. And to me, one of the most exciting things that happen in an airplane is a controlled spin. It's necessary to learn how to control a spin to get a license. But it's quite thrilling, especially if you don't know what's going to happen. The nose of the plane goes up and up and up until the engine stalls. It can't fly any longer, so it goes down. And when this happens, in order to put it in a spin, you kick in one rudder, either the right or the left rudder, whichever way you want to turn, and all you can see is the ocean down there, and it's getting closer. And so I took her out for a ride, and I gave her a couple of them. And I thought that would take care of her. It didn't scare her at all. So I figured, well, that didn't scare her. I said, how about going to the movies tonight? And she said, well, I got to play the piano in church. I said, well, that'll be fine. I'll go to church. So I went to church. And we started going in, more or less. And the next thing I knew, I was in the store one day, and this little old lady came in the store. I knew who she was. And she says to me, would you like to buy a diamond ring? I said, what in the world would I want with a diamond ring? That was the furthest thing from my mind. I was having too much fun. And so she offered it to me at a very reasonable price. And finally she became convinced I wasn't going to buy it, so she started out, and my father appeared from nowhere in the back. He said, what'd that lady want? I said, she's trying to sell me a diamond ring. Well, he said, did you buy it? I said, no, I didn't buy it. I'm getting money to buy a diamond ring. Well, he went out and called her back. He said, come back here a minute. And so she came back with a diamond ring. And he said, I think my son probably want to buy that ring. I said, I don't want to buy any ring. He said, I'll loan you the money. He said, you take that ring up to McGinnis. McGinnis was the jeweler, Mac. You take it up to Mac and show it to him and ask him what it's worth. To this day, I think he had this set up with McGinnis. So I trotted on up with it, and Mac says, oh my, that's a lovely diamond. Oh dear. And he took me a price about twice what she wanted for it. So I took it back and I said, he says it's a very nice diamond, but I don't want a diamond. My father says, yes, you do too. You've got to have it. He says, I'll let you have the money. I said, okay, what I'm going to do with it? He said, put it in the safe. He says, diamonds always appreciate. They never depreciate. So I put it in the safe, and there it's set. And then all of a sudden, he invited Dorothy to come down for Sunday dinner one day. Well, he was pushing a thing for all it's worth, and had me equipped with a diamond ring, of all things. And like a dummy, I never realized what was happening. I didn't have a clue. Nothing. And the next thing I know, she's got the diamond ring, and we're about to be wedded. And that's 54 years ago next April. Oh, boy. It's been a great life.